Okay, so apparently this is all stemming from is Big Meech snitch, okay? And of course we all know Big Meech is from BMF. BMF was a big, large drug operation that basically took over like Atlanta, Detroit, St. Louis. They're from Detroit. And they were like just a family, like, and I believe in things like that. They were a family. They showed up. They went to bars. They threw money. They put people in position. They were like a black mafia, and they came up, I guess, with the name because they didn't really have a name. It was like Meech and his boys or them boys or whatever. Like when you when I go out, most of the time it's like Lisa and her boys, because my kids, they're all boys and they're grown. So we're plush now. We're more known for plush. So I understand where the name came from. They were trying to get more of a unified name, to move a little more structure. Shout out to them for doing that. So they started off Detroit, blew up, went to Atlanta. Next thing you know, it went from, they used to, I think, be like the 50 Boys. They moved to the name Black Mafia, BMF, Black Mafia Family, and they blew up. Like, they literally blew up. You could not step foot in Detroit, Atlanta, any other kind of bigger urban cities without knowing who they were. They end up getting indicted back in, I think, like 2003, 2004. Basically, it was a lot of snitching going on. Not on Meech and them part, but people was getting caught up for other crimes, doing other things. And what do? Try to stay their own ass. And very unfortunate that these are the people. Meech and them was very smart. They were moving very calculated. Yes, he was flashy. He was overly flashy, but that's not what brought him down. What brought him down is people getting caught up on shit over here, and instead of being a man and standing on things, that they start telling on, the government at this time, they do kind of be onto you once you are seem like you're rubbing things in their face. Meech should just be the murder, charge, and whether y'all know it or not, you beat some charges, and the feds, the DEA, everybody's on you when you beat a case, because now that it's a chip on their shoulder kind of thing. So they had it out for basically the Black Mafia family, especially I guess the brothers, which was Southwest T and Meech. And once they was catching people kind of in their circle up and things, they kind of was like, well, give us them and we can, let you off the hook on whatever. So they started working their own little deals. They end up taking a plea, which is kind of important. They took a plea for, I believe, 30 years. Okay, during this time, well, people were saying that Meech met Tammy in prison, but from what I can gather, they knew each other outside of prison. They kind of hooked up. He, people wanted to do his story because it was such a big, popular story. So he basically gave her his power of attorney and the rights to his life. So to tell his story through a movie or series or whatever. And that was basically giving her authorization to sign paperwork, do deals. He's in prison. He can't do these things. So basically he was trusting her to handle his business for him. I don't know the dynamics of where his sister, mom. I'm thinking because it was so much going on and he didn't want to, tie them up, because that's why he ended up taking a plea in the first place, is because they was coming after his family and he didn't want to get his family in the middle of his bushes. So he ended up just taking a plea to save his family. So from my opinion, this part is not facts. It just seemed to me that he didn't kind of drag them into things because he kind of wanted to just keep them separate from everything going on. He ended up giving her, like I said, his power of attorney, the rights to his, life, or life rights, they call them, to make these movie deals. Now, pause. Let me say this before we get to Tammy. Tammy, people are saying she just jumped up and Meech brought her in to basically be an informant to help him get some time off. Very important factors here that the Tammy lady was already informant. They apparently in 2009, she had an ex-boyfriend. His name was, I think, Terry White. And he got caught up in some things, and she basically turned informant on her own boyfriend. She got him, I think, like 20 years in jail. Don't quote me on that, but I know she got him some time. She worked with the feds, the DA, whatever, on his case. So she already was an informant prior to anything that had to do with Meech, okay? So this is not like she was an ordinary citizen like a lot of people are saying, and Meech wheeled her in and said, come do this. No, that's not the case. She was a paid informant prior to all of this, okay?